Hey everybody, what's up? This episode is the second episode of Backer's Backpack. Now, what I'm going to tell you on this show is very simple. You know, either you're gonna put the product in your backpack, leave it at home, re- ask for a refund, or trash it. So this is Backer's Backpack, and on today's episode, we'll be covering a very, very controversial book when it came out, and that book is Patriotika. And I'm gonna share it with y'all. This is going to be a very different review on Backer's Backpack, where we review books from, be it Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and I let you know whether you should have kept it in your backpack, leave it at home, return it for a refund, trash it. You know what I'm saying? That's you got four choices. And then I'm gonna basically give you some pointers on the book. So let's go. As you could see, this is the cover for Patriotika. This is the first book, but let's do a little history search. Now, if you go to YouTube, you'll see 3 years ago, man, Patriotika had, it was a storm of coverage from people in the Comicsgate community and so on. A lot of people called it an anti-SJW book, because of, what I'm saying, because of just how it went about having an attractive lead female. You go to the view counts, 200,000 views. It was a comic about, so-called patriotism. And, it was about having a beautiful character that looks feminine and female, rather than what you get with Marvel's current books and DC's and so on. But don't be fooled by the overall appearance of the patriotism and so on. And on Kickstarter, you know what I'm saying? Give me 1 minute. Yeah, on Kickstarter, Patriotika raised $41,000. You know what I'm saying? $41,000. And they were basically asking for $3,500 was their goal. They had 1,192 backers back the book. And, it had a big promise to it. You know what I'm saying? Look at it. It was about a female hero and, who looked patriotic and beautiful and all that. And like I said, they asked for 3,500 and they got 41,000, over $41,000. Now, as for the review, let us go to it. Now, I'm reading it on Comixology. Another thing we'll be doing here, we'll be reading books that were on fundraisers if I couldn't get to it in time. So, as you can see, this is the cover. Look at that. Beautiful cover, great artwork. Now, let's rock. As I'll start with is that the writing. Now, we'll start with the writing and overall image. Give me a minute. Now, this is a problem with one of the big problems with Patriotika, right from the start. Yeah, one of the problems right from the start is you see this character in black. Let me make the screen full. See this character in black? That's supposed to be Athena. That's supposed to be Athena, but as you can see with her costume, with her whole wardrobe, you wouldn't be able to tell that's Athena. For example, look, you know what I mean? This this is an image of Athena. You see the whole, what I'm saying, the Roman appearance, the statue of Athena, you know, got all these statues and so on. You could tell what time period it's from, the Roman times, Greek, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it looks like that time period. You could tell that's Roman and Athena, God or whatever. You could tell who that is. What I mean, even if you can't tell, you could tell it's from that time period. It's Roman, what I mean, those time periods and so on. But when you look at, this is supposed to be Athena, what I mean? You look at this comic and you say, this is supposed to be Athena, but you can't even tell with the costume, you know. Now, as you're reading a comic, it turns out somebody's in danger, and that's one thing with the series is that, you'll come to find that, what I'm saying, you're gonna get slightly confused because this is Athena. Costume does not match the whole Athena, what I'm saying, doesn't match who it should be, Athena, you know. Now, the story opens up with Athena finding someone injured, uh, appears to be a giant. But here's the other thing with this series is that you see the technological design on the characters. You can't tell whether it's going to be, is it set in the future? What is this giant girl? And this is supposed to be Athena. You wouldn't be able to tell that's Athena at all. I know I'm going back and forth. And then this giant girl that's supposed to be her ally is in danger. And, it's drowning and so on. You zoom in. She says, today is not your end, hero. Today we become one. And that's the thing. It starts off with you being confused. You know what I'm saying? So she rescued this giant technological thing, and you don't even know why. And this is, like I said, Athena. Now, she basically, you know, I don't have time to awaken her and to tell her why I must do this. And she basically touches her or something. And they don't really tell you, what I'm saying, what she plans to do with this girl. Impossible. She is wearing, no matter, I must find another hero and powerful host at once before it is too late. She got to find a host, and you don't know why she needs a host and why she's, saved this giant technological thing. That's one thing you're going to come to find with this series is that they tell you this is Athena, but, what type of Athena? Is it from another realm? Is it from the future because of the design? And then you look at the clothing on this giant, you can't tell where they're from, historically. So now here's another thing, man. I don't I don't know what it is with this maybe it's a simp thing, but I don't know why they have all these comics where they'll write a guy in there and some females, but he's not dating either one of them. You can't tell, he's just a friend. What guy, what I'm saying, is just gonna be, I hang with two girls all day? I'd understand, if he was, of a different type of gender, or whatever, sexuality. But and as you read it, he seems to be your average jockey type guy. But why would he be hanging with two females and he's not dating one of them? You know what I'm saying? And it just feels forced, and it's something of, I don't know, man. It might be a simping culture in today's age where they'll forcefully write, look, guys are here too. They're gonna be okay with it. In all honesty, they should have just had three females, You know what I'm saying? Three different female characters that are friends. Because why he's here makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? He's just hanging with them and has no relationship with them at all. You know, from a relationship as in dating, he has no connection to either one. I like the start. They're just friends walking around and they challenge each other for some jalapeno eating contest, whatever. And she eats it and spits on the other girl, whatever. And she ends up separated from them as we'll just call him as the simp guy offers to help her out. And here's the other thing, and this is where the story picks up, is that Athena, she says, she happens to be alone, separated from her friends, trying to cough out the issues. And the name of this girl's name Erin. And what happens is, while she's coughing, Athena, what I'm saying, my name is Athena, please summon back your tall friend. And Athena was interested in taking the body of her friend as a host, this girl. But the thing is this: why is Athena in need of a body? You know what I'm saying? They're going to showcase something later on. And what happens is, Athena basically, is being chased by some kind of wraith or something like that. You know what I'm saying? She's being chased by this wraith creature. And, you know what I'm saying? And she touches the girl. And the thing is, they don't explain. She's not injured. She's not bruised. She's not weakened. And because of the whole costume setup, where you can't even tell that's Athena, there's nothing Roman about it or nothing, or that culture or something. So, she touches Aaron, you know what I'm saying, touches her, then basically infuses her spirit into Aaron's body. As you can see, let me zoom in, infuses, what I'm saying, because she needs to give them a chance to beat off the Wraith. But still, you don't get a sense that Athena needed to do this. There's no injuries. There's nothing. I'm just gonna possess you because I want to possess you. You know, she yells what's happening and all that stuff. And the Wraith comes to kill her and all that. What's pretty cool from a writing perspective is that Athena's in her mind, and Athena's gonna tell her what to do. Like, for example, in this panel where Athena tells her that's why you need to jump, that factor that Athena is in her head giving her orders. What that does from a writing perspective is that, what that does from a writing perspective is that it basically allows the writer to add things in there that the character wouldn't know. Add in, for example, the writer can skip sequences where, the character had to be introduced or taught military techniques and all that, because Athena's in her body. She runs away, she's being attacked. And this part, doesn't make sense. Kind of breaks down the urgency and wisdom of Athena, because why would Athena lead her to run straight towards her friends in the public instead of running further into the beach to avoid anyone during the fight? Why would she intentionally put the public at harm, then reveal her abilities? So, we get there, the beta simp guy the simp dude comes to give her some water. He ran to get it with her, and she runs. She's in danger. And, this is where the writer, to me, I'm going to progress and show you that some writers, and you could take this from me, this is going to be the new quote, the new word to say when a writer can't write, or they're really horrifically writing a script. It's called anti-reader. And this book, it starts off very wonky. It starts off, a lot of the pacing and tone is off, the design of the characters off. Athena, you couldn't even tell if that's Athena unless she told you. But okay, she runs straight into her friends, you know, and Athena tells her to focus. You and your friends are in danger. So if she knows they're in danger, why would she lead her towards her friends while being chased? Like I said, the Wraith uses an attack, scratches a car, whatever, cuts it in half. People are running away. You know what I mean? She tells her friends, you guys need to get out of here. Well, yeah, why would you don't need to tell them that when you're the one who ran into them? That's where the writer gets off tone. Why would she run into her friends? So the Wraith's coming, what I mean? It's coming to attack her and her friends, and Athena, unleashes her power. You know what I'm saying? Athena unleashes her power, giving her a portion of her power, whatever. And to me, I like the whole Hulk transformation aspect. She gets bigger, more muscular, but at the end of the day, she's still feminine feature wise. She still has some female features and all that. And this is where the story, a lot of the tone starts getting damaged. So her friends are scared, they're ducking for cover, whatever. She holds back the Wraith. And the thing is this, if that's a portion of her power, why did she get into this girl's body if she was 100% healthy? It would have made more sense if Athena was like, I'm not 100%, but I'll give it a try, and I'll lend you as much power as have I have left. That way there's a sense of urgency that she got into Aaron's body for a reason. And to me, this part, she basically, I feel the power. He-Man said, I have the power. He-Man. What I mean? She's getting strong, and she basically, and this part further damages the tone of the book, and adds more questions to why Athena possessed her body. Because check this out. He unleashes her power, whatever, boom, tears off this Wraith's arm. What I'm saying? Tears it right off. What I'm saying? And the Wraith still uses some type of attack. And what I'm saying? It's time to end this, And she basically uses the sun's energy and some type of, Athena tells her to use the sun's solar energy to blast this Wraith. What I'm saying? Boom, hits him, cuts off his other arm, and the Wraith runs away or something. What I'm saying? Still attacks. Runs away. I mean, the Wraith dies, from the solar energy, but it basically, to me, it messes up the whole tone. There's no desperation in why she possessed this Aaron girl, because if she possessed her for a reason, she wouldn't one-shot this Wraith. She would have had to struggle more, and it would have been more about, I'm going to trap him in some type of capsule or something. I don't have enough power to beat him. So, what I mean? What else happens is, she has her power. What I mean? She runs out of energy, transforms back to who she was. And here's the part where it makes no sense, is that her friends are too relaxed. And then her friend is jealous that she got powers. It's writing it as though, what I'm saying? Instead of them hugging her, holding on to her, are you okay? Oh my God, I'm scared. They just hug, they start joking about how tall she is and all that. It makes it, and it's gonna go further to prove how much her friends don't really give a damn about her, because check this out. Instead of them being scared and terrified, and even her, she's not asking them how they are. There's no real bond to the characters. And then you see that her friend in red hair is jealous for some reason and ends up picking a piece of that Wraith, and they hold on each other like they're playing around and walk away. But it just, for the pacing, it doesn't make sense, man. There's no urgency. There's no fear between the characters. It's like, even though this is the first time Eren became this muscular Athena powered version of herself, it seems like the writer wrote it like this is the fifth or 10th time she's become this form in front of her friends, and they're used to this. And this is supposed to be the first time. They should have been scared, terrified. The writer messes up the tone of the moment. And then, and it gets even worse with the tone. It makes you even less invested. And she goes training on a rooftop again in front of her friends. She's possessed by Athena, a god that's been alive for, that's during the Roman times, war and all that. And she's going to train her in front of her friends to face her fear by jumping off her building. And then this goes back to why I say her friends don't really care. There's no real attachment, is that her friend just pushes her off a building, to activate her power. And the thing is, Athena is in her head talking to her, and her friends aren't worried about her, what's wrong with you, and all that. The biggest problem a lot of indie writers have is that when they're not working for Image Comics, IDW, companies that want to manage the script, that provide them with an editor so they can flush out the story and actually have the story's pacing be, in control, have the pacing where the readers can get to know the character and bond with the character. Because the truth is this, and I said this on the last review for Common America, no one cares about a character's powers. We've seen it all. Super strength, super speed, blah, blah, blah. We've seen it all. It's about the character behind the power. And, her friends literally push her off a building, and she falls, and Athena's power just activates in midair, and she just does all this damage, all this property damage. She slams into the sewers, and no one's gonna be aware of it at all. And then and then they just have it that she's mad at her friend for pushing her off. She jumps all the way up and that's the thing, she fell into the sewers instead of smelling it, feeling dirty and nasty. A lot of times, a lot of writers will write a female character as a male. She's just comfortable being dirty like that. So she leaps back and just tosses some of that sewer water on her friend's sewer water and is laughing and all that crap. It's just messed up tone wise. And then what happens is, you know, they see on the news that, the military guys are being attacked by some scarabs. And this is where the book truly, from a writing perspective, it becomes an anti-reader book, as in it's not going to reward you for reading it. It's only going to get, from a script perspective, worse, where it's going to make you, what I'm saying, it's going to harm you for knowing how to read. So as you read further, she's in school with her friends, and they see on the news that, what I'm saying, the military is being attacked by some type of scarab creatures and all that, and the soldiers are fighting. What I'm saying, their bullets aren't doing anything. She's talking to her friends. What I'm saying, they tell her she should go do something. What I'm saying, and she gets that thought in her head from Athena, we can make it. It's just that with this power, it doesn't make sense. She just reveals it all of a sudden to her friends, and then her friends, not one of them are scared or worried. They just stay by her like this is issue 10. You know what I'm saying? This is a normal thing. It happens every day. So she ends up flying there. And this scene to me, man, she ends up flying there as Athena in Athena's natural armor or whatever. And then the thing is her hair, you know what I'm saying? So what's strange is that the artist draws her hair long like Athena over here, you know what I'm saying? When she was fully muscular, it was just the Aaron girl, but more muscular. You know what I'm saying? But her hair is long like the Athena character. So she swoops down. This part I love, man. This part to me is probably one of the best parts of the script is that the soldiers being attacked by the scarab think she's the one doing it. Because a lot of times you read comics and regular people are in danger and they're in a world with superpowered people. And, you know what I'm saying? They just assume that that person with power is not their enemy. Now, I almost missed something. What happens is in the book, and this is, like I said, this is why the book really falls apart from a writing perspective, is that it turns out that there's a character that was super powerful that went missing. So they throw all this that a superpowered character is missing that used to save the world when we've yet to understand or know. For example, the character's name was Triferion is missing. Some superpowered character. We don't get a photo of him. We don't get any photo or by the news people referencing him. We need him. Nothing. We barely know who Athena is and why she's possessing this girl. And then we're automatically dropped into, well, there's this Trifon character that, because the writer, a lot of times writers will write as though we're in their head, and this is why I say this is an anti-reader book, because it's basically saying, since you don't know what's in the writer's head, you're the one that's failing. You should know all this. You should know all that's happening because you should be in the writer's head and know what they're thinking. So they introduce us to this Triferion character that's missing. We don't see a photo. We don't see people reacting anyway. They're all sitting down. Military is in danger and the big superhero is missing, and all the people in the class are just calm eating. You know what I'm saying? There's no people worrying or panicking or saying, yo, my father's in the military, nothing. So let's go back. And no, this is one of my favorite scenes, is that they shoot at her thinking that she's the one controlling these scarabs. I love that scene. Now, what happens is, and this is where the book, what I'm saying, all of a sudden her hair turns small, whatever. But what happened is, while they're shooting at her, she's like, man, it turns out Athena can design her costume any way she wants. And another thing is, to me, this part, wasn't needed. It was a waste. It should have been while she was flying there. Athena, who's a strategist and military mind of war, super intelligent, wouldn't just arrive there without this type of costume to look more familiar to these soldiers, since they shouldn't know who she is. So when she arrived with the black suit, it's kind of like the way the writer wrote it in their head, it's kind of like, oh, they should know who Athena is. Athena should know they don't know who she is because she's a hidden being or something like that. No, she just arrives in this suit. It should have been she arrived, or before she arrived, you know what I'm saying? She should have changed her suit then, you know what I'm saying? But you know, writing error. So basically what happens is the girl who's tells Athena to change her costume to this all star stripes and all that stuff. You see, this is the the advertisement, a lot of controversy went on about Patriotica because it's gonna be all American, her costume, and a lot of people were thinking this is gonna be a pro-patriotic, pro-American war type book and all that stuff. But in actuality, it's just a shell of that. There's nothing really patriotic about this moment besides her just changing her costume. You know, had the Aaron character been a military cadet or something that said she had some type of military experience or something like that, it would have been a more patriotic book. But in reality, the only thing patriotic about this book is the color of her costume, the red, white, and blue, and the American thing. So what happens is, you know, the soldiers see her with the red, white, and blue, and they stop shooting. You know what I'm saying? They think that, okay, she's one of us. You know what I mean? She's one of us. And, you know, she basically, and another thing is this, it still doesn't explain why Athena took over this girl's body. You know what I'm saying? Because she just runs right through these scarabs, giant monster scarab things, lifts one up, whatever, takes care of it easily. And then out of nowhere, and this is where it harms the book, man. They just rush in. They just rush in these super. They just rush in these super powered characters. You know what I'm saying? You don't yet know why Athena's here in her body, possessing her, and they just put these super powered characters here. You know what I'm saying? What happened basically is that a lot of indie writers that don't have an editor and don't know about pacing, they just jump. So basically every panel acts like multiple issues. They just jump through an entire scene. Well, now you know all about Athena. We gave that one little page of her training. We don't know why Athena's here. The character doesn't struggle to accept that or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So then basically what happens is these giant other godlike things pop up, and they know who, you know, they know who that is that Athena. And then the book ends, but it should have been that she took these it should have been that she took these soldiers and tried to help them out. Instead, it becomes, oh, here she's going to face these new big bad guys, and we as the readers don't yet know why Athena's there. We don't know or have any reason to where we bonded with the character. You know what I'm saying? So we end up where we don't have any we don't have any reason to bond with the character. I will say this at the end of the review. I will say this book, the art is amazing. But when it comes to the writing, with how fast and how many hiccups and how many bumps on the road the script had, I wouldn't, you know, I would say this book, you would keep it at home. You know what I'm saying? You don't really travel with it. It's really just for the art. You know what I'm saying? If you like the art, you just go with it, you know. But in all honesty, I would say if you're better off when it comes to this book, you know what I'm saying? I'd say it's an anti-reader book. I would say you're better off just without even reading it, just flipping through the pages, looking at the art. Because what's happened with the indie market is that a lot of indie creators have basically, the ones that are quote unquote saying they're not SJWs, are delivering subpar to basically horrifically written books. And now the sad part about Patriotica is that, and I'll say this, and this is where it has such great potential, is that because it dealt with the whole Athena the whole Athenian aspect, Roman gods, Greek gods and so on, it would have been a great Wonder Woman alternative. Had the script been a lot cleaner and they took their time in releasing and writing the script, and it wasn't so rushed, and it was better thought out, because you end up reading issue 1. There's no struggle, there's no answers on why Athena controlled her body. You don't get any answers. And the thing is, this whole theme of it being a Greek inspired book with Athena, Zeus, and all that, her possessing this girl named Erin, this book had a great potential of being a more patriotic version of Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? But instead, it fell flat, script wise, fell flat on its potential, as a book. You know what I'm saying? If it was written a lot better, the script was a lot cleaner, and they didn't rush, because one of the biggest sins an indie writer will make is that they will write the book like they're writing a mainstream character, as in Patriotika is written as though the writer is writing Wonder Woman. What I mean by that is they write it as though it's an established character where you know all the lore and you know all the history and continuity of that character, when this is a brand new character in a brand new series where they should take their time. Instead of speeding up and getting you from, we don't even know who Patriotika is, and they introduce Trifarion. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to grow or understand the character. And what's a shame is that, to me, this had a great potential to be an alternative and a fresher take, you know, because Wonder Woman's been here since the 40s, and her whole story deals with the whole Greek gods. This was a brand new Greek god inspired book. You know what I'm saying? Had they taken more of their time, because, even on the first page, you don't even know if that is Athena. You know what I'm saying? On the first page. To me, had they taken their time with the book, and had they basically done a lot more with it, taking their time, the book would have been worth a lot more. It would have had better traction. But instead, they rushed the book. I would say this is one of those books where you leave it at home. You don't really have to share it with people. You know what I'm saying? It's not, story wise, it's not good at all. The story is, had potential, but it starts out with a question mark that ain't answered. There's a lot of questions and a lot of confusion in the script. And at the end, you won't bond with the character. And the potential is there. I mean, uh, a character that deals with the Greek gods, that's going to be powered by the Greek gods, Athena, you know what I'm saying? Instead, we don't know why Athena's there. Athena isn't injured. She doesn't possess this girl after a rough battle. You know what I mean? It's what's happening with a lot of the indie scene is that a lot of these creators are doing this thing where, well, if our character looks good, you know what I'm saying? If our character looks good, then that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? And you end up with something like you end up with a Patriotica where the character looks amazing, well designed, but the story just ain't worth it, man. The story isn't, as appealing. And the other thing is, they sold it as a patriotic. The name is Great Patriotica, but there's nothing patriotic about this character. You don't really get to see any patriotism in the book besides her costume. Even the character, when the character tells her to dress up, is, with the patriotic colors, there's no reason. There's no, her being a family member was a Marine. There's no reason behind it other than, okay, let's give her the patriotic costume and this book should sell and, touch up on the American spirit and so on. You know what I mean? To me, we're at a point in comics where, as long as the female character looks good, since Marvel and all of them are making a lot of their characters females literally look like men, that's all that matters. And the story just is flat, you know? You know what I mean? So when you look at a Patriotica, in all honesty, it just looks good, but the story just isn't there. Well, this has been Backer's Backpack. And I would say with Patriotica, it's an anti-reader book, as in it doesn't benefit you. It punishes you for being able to read. You know what I'm saying? The book punishes you for being able to and trying to read it. As you can see from this page, you know what I mean? Let me zoom in. How is this Athena? Look at this costume design. How is this Athena? Then who is this? We don't know what's going on. There's no explanation at all. You know what I'm saying? It punishes you as a reader because you don't know what's going on in the writer's head. And this is why I'd say this is an anti-reader book where you shouldn't go in trying to read it. You should just look at the nice pictures. Oh, okay, this lady's flying, sees a big monster. Ships are chasing and attacking this. And that's the other thing. The news didn't even talk about this in the series. Why they attacked this giant woman. She jumps in, you know what I mean? And then she just ends up ashore. There were jets there. She should have been attacked and dropped this giant girl. But, I could go on for days. But this has been Backer's Backpack. Hope you enjoyed it. And I would just say with this book, it's an anti-reader book, which means you don't need to read it. Just need to look at the nice pictures. And, I would say you don't refund it. You know what I'm saying? You just keep it at home. There's nothing really special from a story aspect. Now, did it have potential to possession? A god possesses a girl and gives her direction mentally. Mentally, it had potential. But other than that, it doesn't live up to it. And then all the patriotic hype, there's nothing really patriotic about this book. Besides her costume, the character has no true patriotism or nothing. Well, Backer's Backpack. We out.